Guys, I'm in a good mood today. We are close to Christmas. Exciting times ahead for families, fun, presents, and good times. I also have a Baby Yoda up in front of me for my coffee. But guys, welcome back to the Wilson Brothers channel. I'm Isaac. This is David. We are covering today PBD, covering the infamous Alex Jones being restored to X, previously Twitter. He goes on a live space and talks to Elon Musk about being reinstated. Are you excited?
Yeah, I haven't listened to the audio space. You have. Neither of us
freaking tastic.
Neither of us have seen this video, but I love how you started off with, David, let me take this. I'm going to do this intro. I was like, do you want me to do the intro? He's like, nah, I got it.
I got it.
He's
I
like,
got it.
He's like, I'm going to do something different. Let's see if we like it.
The holidays are upon us, guys. We got to have a good time. We got to spend time with family. If you don't have a family, go find one.
2 Christmases ago, Isaac got me a Baby Yoda shirt, so I don't know what it is about Christmas.
Where is your shirt? You should have worn it.
Bro, I mean, it kind of got stretched out fast. I had a little bit of chub on me back then.
Baby Yoda became regular Yoda.
All right, let's get started with this. I hope it blows my mind.
Alex Jones and Elon Musk, after a 5-year ban off of Twitter and X, 5-year ban, he is finally reactivated after Paul Elon runs. So Elon Musk has reinstated conspiracy theorist. This is CNBC story. Alex Jones' X account, formerly Twitter, after a 5-year ban, Jones had been banned in 2018 and for violating Twitter's abusive behavior policy. Alex Jones had previously spread false claims that San Diego elementary school shooting was a hoax, leading to harassment and threats against the victim's family. San Diego's victims' relatives sued Jones, winning a $1.5 billion judgment against him. Musk's decision to reinstate Jones has sparked controversy, with Musk stating that permanent bans should be extremely rare. Elon Musk asks Alex Jones about Sandy Hook, and this is what it sounds like if you have this. While they did this, it was at 60,000. By the time it was done, there was 120,000 people live listening to this. Spaces, go for it, Rob.
Just before we get into this, guys, I want to preface this by saying Alex Jones, I've never heard him sound so respectful.
He was so humble, dude.
Because again, respectful to a billionaire. If you're talking to a billionaire, probably at give or take the day, one of the richest men in the world, you have a different approach to how you talk to that person.
Well, yeah, I've only listened to 5 minutes. So when I said I hadn't seen any,
I listened to the whole thing.
I listened to 5 minutes. All I heard was Alex Jones. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sirree.
For this, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, he knows he can get his message out wider now because the only place people could go was his website to hear his stuff and Rumble. But other than that, most people aren't on Rumble. They're on YouTube.
I haven't heard anything about the $1.5 billion lawsuit.
Oh, he got fined by he got sued by the families of Sandy Hook.
I knew that. Yeah.
And it ended up being $1.5 billion. And he said, I don't have any money.
I don't have that.
He's like, I have like $2 million in my bank account. Most of it went away. Probably most of it's in crypto.
1,000 people live listening to this. Spaces, go for it, Rob.
I think at least the medium answer. Look, I guess people just want to know. Like, obviously, it would be like heartless and cruel to deny a school shooting of children, or to attack the parents or anyone who is involved. It seems that would be, just incredibly mean and cruel, frankly. So it's sort of that's I think what a lot of people are upset about, or at least they think that is the reason to be upset about. And if that were true, I think we would rightly be upset with you.
Yeah, yes, sir. Well, please let me then just tell you what really happened, okay? And if you want me to send you a dossier with clips and videos and articles,
Post it to your account,
Yes, sir, I will do that. So let me tell you what happened. I'm a guy that didn't go to college. I mean, a few years of community college. I started out on
tells this whole story. And this goes for about 10 minutes, Rob, right?
Yeah, it goes for a while.
In it, he says, look, 5 years ago, I went on, this is quoted somewhere. He says, I went on Joe Rogan podcast and I apologize. I went on Patrick with David podcast and I apologize.
He did 5 years ago.
He's saying all this stuff on the what he did. And then, at the end, others get on. They keep asking the question. There's sometimes it got heated. There was even Andrew Tate getting on with Musk. It was just a very fascinating Twitter Spaces. that took place with the conversations. But Tom, what do you think with Alex now being back? One, move-wise from Elon. Good move, bad move. And two, what do you think the people on the left are sitting there saying, how the hell can you give this guy the mic back for him to start talking and, spreading his thoughts and ideas and opinions that he has?
Well, I have a remarkably succinct point of view here.
Oh.
Number one, putting him back on is good for free speech.
Agreed.
Number two, it scares the hell out of Democrats who want to suppress the voices and control the narrative, especially in election season. But number three, I think him coming back on and him giving kind of a half apology. I mean, you look at the guys on the All-In Pod, they were split. Sachs and Calacanis went back and forth on X. One of them very concerned, saying that was not an apology, dude. That was not sufficient. And the other guy said, hey, he gave us his story and he kind of laid it out there, and they kind of went at it. And I think that's that's sort of the voice of America on Alex Jones. There are some of us out there that say, that really wasn't quite an apology, and the fact that it took him 5 years to get here, and you really cornered him. You did a good job on the podcast, I thought, with Alex Jones.
The one 5 years ago.
Yeah, I'm not saying...
He was upset at me.
I know he was, and I'm not saying it because you're sitting here because we've been friends for 15 years. Legitimately, I thought that you proceeded the argument in the right way to corner him because he needed to be cornered, because he was refusing to really engage and talk and dialogue and kind of cop to what he did. And so that's what I think. I think this is good for free speech. I think Elon just scared the hell out of the liberals who want to suppress voices about, I'm willing to let voices go, and they'd be like, no. And then Alex Jones, I see how people are feeling there. Half of them are saying, hey, I think that's enough of an apology, and they're not enthusiastic.
It's dangerous when when every individual person, especially online, is the decider of what is a good apology.
Yeah, well, the problem...
Has a slippery slope.
Well,
dude.
here's the thing, too, is that when it comes to left versus right, and we're not super political on this show, they take more of a... PBD's taken more of a political stance recently on his podcast. It used to be more business-centric with helping young entrepreneurs find value in their business ventures and what they were doing. The stance that I have that I would find interesting in all of this is they even brought this up on the Twitter space. They said, what if we did a debate, Elon, Joe Rogan, and Alex Jones against Charles Schwab, I think it was Gary Gensler, and somebody else from the left in a town hall format.
It'll never happen. But it'd be phenomenal.
Elon said he would do it.
Elon would.
Alex said he would do it. And Joe Rogan, I don't know. Joe Rogan would probably be a funny moderator. I don't know if Joe Rogan's necessarily a debater, because he's more of a fly on the wall type of personality that just likes to hear what people have to say that's interesting. But when it comes to Alex Jones, which is the topic of this video, he did... royally screw up when he miscovered that story about Sandy Hook.
He was wrong.
It has come out now that he was wrong. He went on an apology tour for it. But unfortunately, once you anger the mob, they'll never let you live it down. And they'll use a narrative to say everything that Alex Jones says is now false, because he was wrong on this one specific topic. He called 9/11. He called Epstein Island.
Yeah.
5 years before it happened, he called it on the Joe Rogan podcast. So he's not completely nuts. I think a lot of what he says is false, and a lot of what he says is true. You have to eat the meat and spit out the bones with these kind of personalities. And that's why we always encourage our viewers, do your own research. Go out there and find the truth. Don't just settle for what somebody's going to tell you on a podcast about what the information you're consuming, because everybody, including us, we might have biased agendas that we don't even know about, that we bring up on this channel. Our messages, we want to encourage our viewers to go out and actually learn for yourself.
Yeah, the most valuable thing I've gotten from this so far is people can change.
Yes.
Even the craziest people, I've seen some of the craziest people online actually get a revelation and change.
Yeah.
2, it is dangerous when us as individual people decide what people are allowed to put online.
I wish a Karen would.
Or even say publicly.
Why do you think we do that?
Because everything has to be about love nowadays.
It's an echo chamber.
It's an echo chamber, but everything is about love. You have to feel loved. Everybody wants to feel validated in all of their beliefs.
But then truth becomes relative, and love is no longer considered love anymore, because if you put a label on love or on acceptance or free speech, and you try to put your own label on it without there being any basis of reality or foundational truth, then you go into the realm, what Ben Shapiro says is moral relativism. Nothing actually has any grounding anymore, because where are you getting your worldview from? Especially when it comes to speaking on the internet, having opinions. If it's not a call to violence, if it's not calling for people to get stoned or hated on or beat up, and it's just your opinion, you should be able to have your opinion online.
Well, did you see the Vivek Ramaswamy and Piers Morgan interview?
Yeah.
So one thing that Vivek said that I really appreciated was he said, not everyone's opinion is good, obviously, because people have crazy stuff. But he said, I will fight to the death for you to be able to say what you want to say. It can even be somewhat, there's racists out there, right? The fact is, you still have the right to say that. But now where people can fight back is don't fight back in a legal courtroom or, again, he got sued by a lot of people, but we fight back with countering that opinion and being able to speak against that opinion and say that opinion's wrong. But when you then deplatform somebody for having an opinion that's different than yours,
because it doesn't fit
you're
the
saying,
narrative.
I want everybody to agree with me.
But it doesn't fit the narrative. That's the problem.
No, and that is the problem.
Yeah.
And that's why I appreciate what Elon did. Now, granted, when Elon talks, sometimes I can't. I mean, it's hard because
his brain's going a million miles an hour.
It goes a million miles an hour, but he can't get out his words properly
because his words don't match his brain speed.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he can't get his words out. But even on the opposite spectrum, right? We talked about Vivek, which is considered a conservative. Let's talk about it from a liberal perspective or a leftist perspective. Bill Maher used to be a really intense liberal, but now by traditional standards, he's seen as a moderate.
Because he thinks at least logically in some ways.
And he has come around to even saying, what are you doing? The mob can't come after you just because you say something that they disagree with, and they get the right to deplatform you.
Dude, it affects people's jobs.
Alex Jones wasn't even deplatformed for Sandy Hook off Twitter. Elon Musk goes into it on the Twitter Live, says, you were deplatformed because a congresswoman that you disagreed with on a certain bill that was going to be passed.
Really?
Deplatformed you because he went into the Twitter logs.
I didn't know that.
He went into the Twitter logs and found that it wasn't even about Sandy Hook.
Wow.
That he was deplatformed. So that in a lot of ways.
Because one person disagreed with him.
But the catalyst for all of the reason why Alex Jones got replatformed was Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
Even Alex Jones he hinted at it on the Twitter. He said there's this creator in Austin, Texas. You guys might know him. He has a huge platform, one of the biggest podcasts in the world. And he was talking to Elon behind closed doors about basically advocating for him to come back on. Alex went on Tucker Carlson before he went on this Twitter Live. So they were setting this up to get Alex back on the platform. And by the way, we don't agree with a lot of what Alex Jones has said in the past.
I think he's entertaining, but I don't agree with everything.
There's good and bad with a lot of people in the world, but the moment that you take a side and you're not willing to listen to the opposition's point of view, you drive a narrative into the ground to such an extent that you create an echo chamber that will stifle your ability to have good, meaningful conversations.
What have we said in previous videos? The most powerful thing in the world is to have a discussion. It can be about religion, politics, whatever it might be that's slightly controversial. Can we have a discussion, have a drink, and still share our viewpoints, but walk away either as friends or as people that at least have respect for each other?
But that doesn't sell, David.
No, but that's the thing is...
It's not polarizing enough.
No, but what do you mean sell?
What you're saying about sitting down and having a middle ground, people don't like that. They like negativity.
Not everybody.
But most of the masses like negativity because negativity sells. That's why the media does what they do.
No, but the problem is that they don't want people to be able to say certain things that are negative. They want to cancel you for having a difference of opinion.
I agree with that.
So it doesn't sell. What they think is that by you having a very stifling opinion, that you're going to be pushing people away, and therefore then those people will blacklist you or whatever for whatever thing you're trying to sell to people. So even companies, right? If you say something that that is, quote, controversial online, this happened with a lot of athletes. They will no longer have you, they'll no longer sponsor you or have you be a part of their commercials because it doesn't fit the brand for the audience they're trying to go for. So that's the problem, is that you have to say what specific people want you to say, or else they will cancel you and you won't have a platform anymore.
That's why LeBron recently didn't speak out against China. And that was just actually a story that broke today.
Really?
Is that there was a bunch of slave labor camps going on in China, and LeBron found out about it, and he didn't speak out against it. But he'll speak out against all these other riots happening and saying these people are oppressed because of X, Y, and Z. But when it comes to my bank account and how I get paid from overseas entities like China, because China is one of the biggest consumers of the NBA, no, I'm not going to speak out against that because it affects my bank account. And PBD brought that up today on his podcast.
In today's, it pays to have a very specific viewpoint. The people that have a viewpoint that is a little bit more polarizing and maybe on the left not as loving or whatever, then you'll get canceled for that. So having a very specific ideals will actually get you paid more.
Yeah. Well, and you have to think about it. Think about Cardi B. She comes out as this like sexual icon where everybody's worshiping her silicone plastered body that she created. And then behind closed doors, she's actually a secret conservative.
And a loving mother.
And a loving mother that would never want her kid to see her twerking on a camera.
That has more conservative values, but she knows what sells.
Yes, but that's double standard.
No, and that's the problem.
That's the problem with a lot of celebrities.
Only going based off what you know sells is very dangerous.
What are this, guys, write in the comments, what are some double standards that you've seen when it comes to free speech, having your opinion heard, or just in general, some things that you've noticed online that we can have debates about or even react to in the future? Because obviously truth always wins in the end, and the moral relativism that's being pushed in our culture is not an actual representation of where we're going as content creators. But we want to have a conversation with you guys. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you found value in this content, make sure to like and subscribe. We are releasing videos Monday through Friday. We also have one right here of Elon Musk talking about Bob Iger, the CEO of Disney, and calling him out on live television. It's a little bit spicy.
Yeah, we like reacting to Elon. Hopefully his communication gets better, but he's a genius. What can you expect? Love you guys. See you next time.
Peace.